Here's a crank assembly from a BSA 350 Gold Star that I'm going to be working on, and the big end is very bad, as you'll see and hear in a minute. I've got some gauges set up. I've got it between centres just to check out any run out on the main shafts before I split it and hopefully do the work necessary to change the big end. Just see what I've got to deal with from the outset, and you'll hear the big end squeaking, and it actually picks up and jams. It's that bad. But both clocks are reading 0 there. Let's give it a bit of a spin if we can. We've got about 4 thou on that clock and around about 6 thou on that one. They are actually rising and falling together, so that means that one can cancel the other one out to a point. So that would bring it down to a real world run out of about 2/1000ths of an inch at the main bearings on the main shafts. But the problem is all that sort of movement that we got up and down between the 4 and the 6 thou. I suppose it would average out across in the centre at perhaps 5 thou. Is that movement, most of it would be transferred from the main shafts to the flywheels, which would sort of bounce up and down as they spin, so that's not good and could induce vibration in itself. So I'm hoping that when I put this lot back together I'll be able to do better than that. But that's just a sort of base and reference figure for me to work to when I hopefully get around to putting these back together. But the next thing for me to do is split these flywheels and see about changing the big end. Certainly this one has really had it. I was beginning to wonder how I might get the crank pin securing nuts undone on this Gold Star crank assembly, as more often than not with the bullet engines that I work on, I can get the flywheels clamped in the vise with soft jaws in the vise and actually get hold of the flywheels by the rim to hold them securely. But these are too big a diameter to go in the vise, and I come up with this. They've got holes right through them, these flywheels, right across through the centre line, going right through each flywheel. And Triumph Tiger Cub or BSA Bantam D7 and onwards fork stanchions are a perfect fit through the holes, very close fit. So I've got the stanchions clamped in the vise, in the soft jaws, and they're held steadily. There's absolutely no stress or pressure on the timing side main shaft because that's a slightly smaller diameter than these, so I'm not going to harm that. And I've already managed to put a great deal of force onto the nut and get it undone, so I'm happy with that. That means that I can definitely split these flywheels, do the job and put them all back together, knowing that I can do up the crank pin nuts nice and securely as well at the end of the job. Well, I've just split the crank and that went with one hell of a bang. Made me jump, but it went free very violently and very suddenly, and as can be seen in there, there's rather a lot of damage, and even the cage that holds the rollers is broken up. So it was well past its sell by date, this big end. Anyway, get all the rest of the bits stripped down and cleaned up, and start to consider putting it back together with the new big end that the owner supplied. So onward and upwards, I hope.